great looking opener for Hewitt. Gives a smile and a nod to the judges. 3 white lights. She's on the board. Pretty good opening attempt. Let's check out the replay. All right, so Hewitt is on the board.
I just critted.
Stop the clock. Holders 97 kilos, please. 30
All right, and with that, I am joined once again by USA Weightlifting CEO and man about town, Phil Andrews. Phil, thanks for joining us again.
You're very welcome, and apologies for being just a couple of minutes late. My average lap time is reducing, but is still quite high.
All right, and with that, we have the first attempt for Thurder Erla Holgadottir from Iceland, who had a great performance in the snatch portion, went 3 for 3, the only lifter to do so in this category.
I've got to imagine this is reasonably close to a PR for Holgadottir in the clean and jerk.
Right, good looking lift for her. And actually, Phil, in weightlifting competition earlier this year at the Europeans in Split, Croatia, she did open at 102 kilograms and made that. Check out the replay there. Although at that competition, she was a bit over body weight. She was technically competing as a 63. So at this body weight, on the international stage, technically a PR. Good to see her on the board here.
There you go. That was pretty good from memory, I thought. All right, Leblanc-Bazinet, a very famous sister, but she's a good lifter in her own right. Typically lives at 53, so she's up a category here. I think that's just to make sure she had an easier day of it, or didn't have to cut so much. A reasonably similar session placement for her in the 53 and the 58, so it sort of makes sense to go up in her circumstances. We had a similar thing in Team USA with Jessica Lucero moving up to 63.
Let's go.
It's a nice lift on her opener.
And that is, 98 is around what we've seen her open as a 58 kilogram athlete before. Phil, you mentioned she kind of burst onto the weightlifting scene as a 53, but
it was originally scheduled here as a 53. They changed at the verification meeting. And yeah, she's been a promising lifter for Canada. She's lifting the World University Championships, I remember, in Chiang Mai, and Camille, I think her sister, was actually due to lift in that same championship, but in the end was unable to do so. But they're both very promising athletes, and Camille obviously very successful on the CrossFit side. But has got a reasonable weightlifting total. She's competed a couple of meets in the US since, I believe, due to her husband. She has dual nationality of the United States. Or at least she lives here in the United States, so she competes locally in the US.
all right, we have Lepsa of Romania opening at 98 kilograms. All right, good looking opener for her. We noted in the snatch portion, and it seems true for the clean and jerks today, she is lifting below what we've seen her do on the international stage. In this weight category, we've seen her go as heavy as 117 kilograms in the clean and jerk, so 98, pretty conservative opener. We've actually seen her open at 113, which we saw at the European Championships in Croatia a bit earlier this year. So not sure if she's maybe nursing an injury, took some time off after that competition, lifting a little bit below what we've seen her do. Otherwise,
Yeah.
I actually say it wouldn't have been shocking to see her in the A session.
The yes, I think that makes sense, and much like the 53s before them, the 58s have been pretty robust this time round. I've seen a lot of removals from that category from the 9 not attending nations, plus DPR Korea, but it's yeah, once again coming back to Laura, she's improving steadily, and I think the whole GB team is, and
We had a nice little streak going. We had 4 made lifts to start the clean and jerks, but
at some point it goes down. But fortunately, all the openers were made so far. That's great for everybody. The 4 we've had lifted so far. I see if Lombardo, Dosigny, and Praska can get to the same result. And in the A session tomorrow, we may see some exciting lifting. Kuo Sing Chun from Chinese Taipei is lifting tomorrow. She's the world record holder in the clean and jerk. So
the only woman to set a senior world record so far this year, actually.
that's right. Yeah, that may change this week.
Or she might do it again.
Oh, yes, or it
And
might be her.
She might
again,
remain.
but
Yeah.
that's exactly right. It's she might be the only woman still, but twice.
I was very careful with my phrasing, so that's
Yes.
why.
It's exactly right. That's still correct. It's we may see another 1 or 2 attempted. I think that one's the most likely. But there's a very strong 48 kilo category here. I wouldn't be surprised if there was at least an attempt there. Same for the 53s. But the higher categories, I'm not sure I see anyone going after Tatiana's records
On the women's side, yeah.
And of course, we have, this may be one of the last worlds, or the last worlds, contested under these bodyweight categories before those records are wiped. So it'll be interesting to see, if you can write your name into history and kind of leave it etched.
Yeah.
Because there won't be too many opportunities to break these records.
All right, we have Hewitt coming out for her 3rd attempt. Still at 99 kilos. See if she has more success with this lift. Not able to complete the clean, kind of collapses under it a little bit, but gives a wave to the crowd, and so her day will end with a 172 kilogram total.
Yeah, and that's, I think she'd be disappointed with her jerk performance, but I think there's probably not the worst day at the office for her in the World Championships. I think is it first senior Worlds? Yes, first senior Worlds.
It is, so.
So I think the strategy for GB is to try and get the experience for the athletes. I've just had a message I mentioned in the last session from Avanish Pandhu from Mauritius, and sure enough, he is watching and sent me a picture of our wonderful webcast in his house.
Well, fortunately, you can only hear us, and you don't have to see us on the webcast.
Exactly. We don't want to damage his TV.
All right, Lombardo of Italy, her opening attempt, 100 kilograms on the barbell. And she is an exciting lifter to watch. Lifts with a lot of speed, passion, and an easy-looking opener at 100 kilograms. She looked like she almost power cleaned that. Let's check out the replay here. Seemed to catch it. No, got it fairly high, though. Nice, easy jerk. And with that, we'll see the second attempt of Rachel Leblanc-Bazinet of Canada. So far, all lifters have made attempts in both the snatch and the clean and jerk. 2 lifters have yet to take clean and jerk attempts, and this is the second attempt for Leblanc-Bazinet of Canada. A last name that shouldn't be unfamiliar to anyone who loves strength sports. Quite a successful family. Not able to stand all the way up with that. On her first attempt, she did pause in the catch position. of the clean, but was able to stand up without much of an issue here. I'm not sure if she might have caught this one a little too far forward or backwards. Let's check out the replay, but not able, didn't just quite have the legs for it right there. And yeah, just kind of feeling heavy, so maybe she'll be able to come out, catch that with a bit of a quicker bounce.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
All right, we have 2 minutes on the clock for Leblanc-Bazinet. Not sure if we're going to see a change there. Now this will, unfortunately for some, maybe fortunately for others, be the last session that you'll hear myself and Phil on.
Yes.
This week.
You may direct your compliments to barbend.com. They got me out of the way early, and I think you'll hear a little bit more from David, less from me. And unfortunately, you won't hear me during the American Open either.
Well, the good news is, while we won't hear any more of Phil this week, we do have some really fantastic color commentators lined up for the stream on usaweightlifting.org, including two-time Olympian Chad Vaughn, Olympic medalist and still American record holder Cheryl Hayworth. They'll actually be on together for a couple of sessions a little later in the week. Really looking forward to hearing their insight and perspective as athletes with a lot of experience competing on the world stage. So looking forward to having them on the stream starting, Cheryl, I believe, Friday, Chad starting Saturday. All right, Leblanc-Bazinet, 101 kilograms, a third and final attempt. You know, pretty much the exact same situation. Not able to stand up with it, didn't quite have the legs for it today. So she will be credited with a 176 kilogram total. Yeah, and you know, I'm not sure she'll be happy with that day at the office. 3 for 6 is never what you want, but at least one of them was in each lift at least. Yeah, probably a little bit disappointing for Leblanc-Bazinet, but she's especially being up the weight category. Our scoreboard, because of the new IWF rules, doesn't show us the body weights here, and I wonder if she was a little light going into this competition. Certainly not a full 58. All right. 4 kilo jump for Lepsa here. What's that? 4 kilo jump on her opener. Which sort of, again, look at her history, that makes sense. She's more than capable of 102. Looks solid enough to me. Let's see what the judges say. They agree. 3 white lights. Yeah, you know, it wasn't as solid maybe as her opening attempt where she really stuck that jerk, but take a look at the replay here. Good enough. And that quickly, we're about halfway through the clean and jerk portion of a pretty small 58B session here in Anaheim. Of course, the 58A session occurring tomorrow afternoon, and this will bring up the lifter from Canada. She is the only junior lifter in this session, opening at 103 kilograms. And starts off the clean and jerk for Designee of Canada in the same way she finished the snatch, very confidently. Already getting into the 190s, solid total there. Goes into first place by some 6 kilos. You know, I've never seen her, as we watch the replay here, Phil, I don't believe I've seen her lift in person before, but I really enjoy watching her. Great technician. Yeah. Good positioning. Yeah, she's a lot of fun to watch. Yeah, I'm curious who her coach is. I'm thinking it's Steve Sandor, who's actually Hungarian, but has lived in Canada for now several decades.
But yeah, I think you're right, very nice technique. Yeah, 190 is a respectable total. She's still got 2 lifts left.
Yeah.
It's good to see Canada, another one of these nations who are sort of emerging and slowly etching their way upwards in these results, which is really pleasing to see.
All right, Hogadottir, her second attempt. This is to stay perfect for the day.
A little challenge on the clean there. 0 on the jerk.
Much less so on the jerk. You know, one thing I've noticed about Icelandic athletes, Phil, and this is a positive stereotype, they are very strong overhead.
Well, yeah, if you look at Magnus Magnusson, the world's strongest man, you know, he won the world's strongest man many times. 4, you're correct, and thank you. Part of that's because he could do so well on the overheads. That he could do, you know, obviously we have a great history of Icelandic strongmen, and well remembered. That we just looked it up, and indeed he won 4 times, the world's strongest man, and he was great with the overhead, you know, tossing the keg over the high bar. Can you tell I grew up watching World's Strongest Man? Which, by the way, my mother still thinks I work.
My mother thinks I sell barbells, which is close enough, so I'll take that.
Yeah, that's closer.
Mom, if you're watching, this is actually what I do.
She's confused that World's Strongest Man isn't the Olympics and maybe thinks I go to weightlifting then.
And with that, Lombardo coming out with 105 kilograms. Nice 5-kilo jump up on her opener at 100. She's had a pretty solid day so far, currently sitting at 183. This would take her to 188. All right, has to fight for it, but that'll be a good lift, and she's excited. All right, oh, one red light, but she is going to get that. Not really sure what they saw there with from the center perspective, but looked like a good lift to me. Check out the replay here for Lombardo's clean and jerk. All right, and with that, we will have the 3rd and final attempt of Lepsa of Romania, taking a 3-kilo jump to 105. Again, something we've seen her do quite handedly in international competition. She's not lifting quite to the level we are used to seeing her at this competition, but nevertheless, this is to go 3 for 3 in the clean and jerk portion.
Yes, and I apologize. I've once again putting out a different fire, this time about transportation. A little surprised she took 105.
And not able to secure that jerk overhead, so she will finish with 184 kilogram total on the day. And with that, we just have 4 lifters remaining in this session. Check out the replay here. Clean looked, I don't want to say easy, but not too bad. All right, we do have a change, and with that, it looks like we will see the opening attempt. Nope. Again, we have yet another change, so it looks like we will see. I'm not 100% sure who we're going to see up next. It looks like Darcini of Canada. Yeah. 107 kilograms, 2nd attempt. She looks very strong on her opener.
Yeah, she's been great all day. Hopefully this is good again.
Great looking clean. Even better jerk, makes quick work of that.
Oh yeah.
All right, 3 whites. And with that, I think we are going to the opening attempt of Kraska of Poland. Poland, obviously, as we watch this replay of Dorsini of Canada, Poland, a nation weightlifting fans should be well familiar with. Very accomplished, and a pretty good relationship between some significant carryover between USA weightlifting and some great Polish lifters and coaches as well. Yeah,
I was thinking Smorsha's obviously being the most high profile of those. He's here all week as our guest and guest of the IWF, 1972 Olympic champion.
Oh, not able to really secure that. Looks like she actually might have, from my perspective, rushed the jerk a bit after the clean, and that might have put her out of position. Let's take another look at the replay, and you can decide for yourself at home. So, pretty sure we'll see her take that again. 2-minute clock for her. Just 5 lifts remain here in the clean and jerk portion of the 53B session. You can see the scoreboard up on your screen right now. Worth noting that Helgadottir of Iceland has a chance still to go 6 for 6. The only lifter
for her.
In the session who has that opportunity.
Yeah, exactly right. And it's be nice to see that. And you know, technique's be very good. There's always talk about, do CrossFitters have as good a technique? And I was saying with CrossFit.com earlier that I feel like that's evolved over time, and perhaps that was once true. And there's still a bell curve of coaches and lifters who have good and better, good, better, really good technique, and sometimes the other way of not so good technique. And I think that probably speaks to that overall issue.
Well, CrossFitters, just like weightlifters, they want to lift a lot of weight, and the better your technique, the more weight you tend to be able to lift. So putting in the reps and taking the time, and you will see a lot of CrossFitters, high-level CrossFitters like Helgadottir, who has competed at CrossFit's highest level, working with a lot of top weightlifting coaches. So clearly her work paying off. She's lifting phenomenally well today, but before we see her again, we will see Kraska coming up for her second attempt. Missed this on the jerk portion. The clean, from my perspective at least, looked pretty easy, so I would expect her to have a good run at this one. All right, and 3 white lights. She gives a look. She knows she made that lift, but she gives a look as if to say, why didn't I do that the first time? Let's take a look at the replay. It didn't look hard for her at all.
Okay. So that's, very nice. And takes her into the, no, it doesn't take her into the lead.
Does not take her into the lead,
Yeah,
no.
the Canadian's still in front because they're a better snatch.
All right, and this will be the final attempt of the day for Thurdur Erla Helgadottir of Iceland. Again, Iceland, a country that has become internationally well known for their strength athletes in the sports a few decades ago, and continuing today of strongman and powerlifting, then CrossFit, and now weightlifting gradually catching up. What a fight on the clean. And that is one of the gutsiest lifts we've seen so far.
6 for 6. And we're actually, our commentary position is close to the final call area. That's actually where we are. She's walking past on your screen now. And you can say that they were sufficiently excited. That was awesome.
And again, one thing I'll say about Icelandic athletes, very strong overhead, and I have seen Icelandic weightlifters make jerks after fights on the clean that you would just not expect anyone else to make. So really fantastic performance for her. One of the best lifts we've seen all week as far as effort. Okay, and with that, Lombardo coming out. This is to go 3 for 3 in the clean and jerks as well. And she will. That was her best looking lift of the day. Gives a nod to the judges. You can see it on the replay here. She's excited. She goes 5 for 6 on the day, and that will move her to a 191 kilogram total.
Yeah, and again, nice to see the passion from Lombardo here, Jennifer Lombardo of Italy. She's, you know, it's hard not to enjoy someone like that lifting with such passion on the platform. It's really good to see. She's enjoying her sport. It's not doesn't seem like a chore for her, you know, and it's really good to see that. And really nice performance from Lombardo, a 191 total, and Darsigny is already in front of this B group, a 2 kilo jump. She's really looked in great shape today.
Yeah.
Missed one, but it seemed to be a mental flatulence since she basically deadlifted and it came out and just completely ripped it the next time.
And she should be thrilled with that. That's a 3 for 3 clean and jerk performance, 5 for 6 on the day. And she will finish with a 196 kilogram total, currently the leader in this B session. But there is, let's watch the replay here, there is just one lift left, and that belongs to Kraska of Poland, who has taken the 5 kilo increase. I believe she might be taking a little bit more, potentially, to try and eclipse the total of Darsigny. Darsigny, sorry. Apologies.
Yeah,
No?
113, and let's see what she's...
This would actually move her into second place in
right?
this session. Yeah.
Darsigny's on 196, so she's going to want that 195. Yes. That is still a very respectable total. What's her best?
Pull that up just a second.
That's Darsigny. Darsigny even did a PR, looks like.
Very low catch in the clean for Kraska. And isn't able to stabilize that overhead, so she will be credited with a 190 kilogram total. And with that, we do have the end of the women's 58 kilogram B session here at the 2017 IWF World Championships. On behalf of USA Weightlifting and their media partner Barbend.com, it has been a real pleasure bringing you the action from Anaheim this morning. I'm David Tao, joined by Phil Andrews. At 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, we'll have the men's 56 kilogram A category, so still plenty of lifting yet to come in Anaheim today. Phil, thanks so much for joining the stream.
Yes, and thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Well, thanks so much, folks, and that's all for this session.